We haven't talked a whole lot of Warriors lately. Sure, LeBron, but Warriors. And I think a fun moment to kind of check in on these NBA finals and sort of how they're making Warrior fans feel. I know that after game one, Spurs, Oklahoma City, you remember that game. Epic game, Wemby goes crazy, overtime, all of that stuff. And a lot of us came in the next day and we're thinking to ourselves, okay, that's what the Warriors are up against. And so maybe we extend that conversation, but this is not the finals that we thought we were going to get. Wasn't the betting favorite at the start of the NBA playoffs probably Thunder in Boston?
I suppose.
Wasn't it?
I'd have to look at the exact odds of the East. It feels to me like it's super split because, Boston, they did it without some key guys, and they were a little bit of a paper tiger. Detroit was the 1 seed, 60 wins. Frank Isola came on with Stein and Goo earlier and said he had the Knicks from the beginning of the year as the team that would advance. So I think you're right about the Thunder, clear favorite there, but the East I'll have to check.
Grandy is saying that, yes, it was the Boston Celtics. So this is not what we thought that I feel like Obi-Wan Kenobi right now. These are not the teams you were looking for. Anyway, this was not the matchup that we thought we were going to get. So, okay, Warrior fans, kind of how does it make you feel about this offseason, which is coming up on us pretty quick here? I think the whole Warrior conversation kind of fell into a little bit of a malaise, and for good reason. But we're 13 days from the draft, and then as soon as the draft happens, we're basically a week out from July 4th and the free agency blitz. So whatever it is these Warriors are going to do, they're about to do it, whatever the hell it is. And how aggressive would you like them to get, and how old versus how young would you like them to get?
Well, you'd like him to get younger, but I don't know how you can go about that unless you start to deal some of your older guys. And Jimmy Butler is a contract that you could look to trade. Draymond Green could be in a sign and trade. I don't think either of those things is going to happen. So, yeah, Al Horford, you bring him back, you're older. You don't bring him back, you can get younger. So there's some moves on the edges, I think, that you can make to get younger.
Isn't that up to him?
To Horford?
Yeah, I think he's got an option.
He's got a player option?
I think so. Am I right on that, Grandy? Horford's a player option, right?
Yes.
Horford can play if he wants to play. I don't think the Warriors can just knock him off of the books if he wants to play.
Okay, and so...
But anyway, go ahead.
No, that's kind of plays right into my point, which is I don't even think it's a question of can you get younger or can you get older, will you stay older? I think that you're going to be older just based on Steph, Draymond, Jimmy, and if Al opts in, and he'll be 41, I think, next year or 40, you're going to be older. Like, you can draft a young guy, maybe 2.
Look, there are more reports that came out today with regard to the Warriors. Legitimate interest was the phrase that pays today. That came from Marc Stein and Jake Fischer. These are very legitimate, tapped-in reports. But what was uncomfortable about it for me, the legitimate interest in LeBron James was written about clearly from the Warriors, not from LeBron. And so it's being sort of thrown out there like it's going to be a pitch. It's going to be a pitch to LeBron, and they're going to offer that he can still kind of live in L.A. part-time and commute back and forth and all of these things. And it was just like, oh, here we go again, where it looks like the Warriors are in sort of the beggar spot in order
not
to
the
bring...
dunker spot.
Not the dunker spot. This is the beggar spot to bring in a big name. And so there's a little bit of discomfort there, I would say. And even that report suggested that the Lakers are still very much the clear favorite to keep LeBron. But I think that Cleveland, that idea, at least according to reports, is starting to fade away. And the Warriors are quickly becoming the only other option outside of the Lakers for LeBron's services. If that's the big offseason move, how you feeling about it? Like, I really am personally in that spot where when we watch these finals, I don't think about the Warriors, actually. I think about the Warriors because I'm a Warriors fan, but I don't think about it with regard to the finals. I've sort of arrived at a spot. I know a lot of people hate this, but for example, when the San Francisco Giants season started, if we had said make the playoffs, everyone would have been like, then that's great. That's a successful season. Nobody said anything about advancing through the playoffs. I'm not going to transfer that fully over to the Warriors because making the playoffs in the NBA is a lot easier than it is in Major League Baseball. But the idea of good basketball, a fun season, making the playoffs, maneuvering through there, giving yourself a chance, and then arriving at that phrase that Steph has used, meaningful basketball. That's my barometer now. That's my barometer for the Golden State Warriors, which is part of why I've been thumbs up on the idea of not 2 timelines, but young and old if needed.
You can be young and old, but most likely your best players will be old. And, you can throw Pods as a younger guy into the mix. And I don't know if Moody can make it back this year, but other than that, your young players, Guy Santos is not one of your 5 best players. If you come back with just what you have and Jimmy gets healthy, Draymond, Steph, and Jimmy are your 3 best players, and they're all north of 36. I believe Jimmy is older than Draymond, and Draymond's at that same age, and Steph will be 39 in March. So you could be old and young, but likely your best players will be old, then your next group will be young, and then maybe you'll have another group of, Will Richard, young and up and coming, and your draft pick, and maybe your other draft pick. So you could be young and old, but you're still going to be relying on the old, and so I'm with you as far as, changing the thermostat. You're not going to be able to dial it all the way up to, we're going to add this and this and that, and we going to be championship. I don't think that that's how you should look at it. So if you want to bring in LeBron, you're a better team. I don't think that you're good enough to make real noise, but that sure would be fun for a year.
It would be fun, and I get it. This fan base has tasted all of the things that you can taste in life, so fun. It's not going to activate everybody. But here's one question I want, and this is actually this is on my list of reasons why I was in favor of the idea of LeBron to the Warriors this offseason. Sell me on an alternative. I'll wait.
Well, the alternative is not tear it down, but you bring back Kristaps for less and bring back Melton for less and just try to run it back. Run it back off a team that went 37 and 45.
Run it back?
Well, your alternative is big swing or moves around the edges or tear it down, which you're not going to do.
Yeah, I don't like that phrase at all.
What, tear it down?
Run it back?
Well, you're asking what the options are. And I don't think you can make a big move for Trey Murphy, right? And you can give up draft capital.
I don't even know if you can. Yeah, but okay.
I mean, that's not a big move. That's a medium to large move.
Pretty big. That's a good move.
It's a good move.
Good player.
The big move to me is Kawhi, LeBron, Giannis. Those are the big headline, big moves. Maybe there's other players out there. Anthony Davis, no thank you. Or other guys who make a lot and have really popular names. So, there's other big moves you could try to make.
All right. I wonder if we've arrived at this spot yet, because I sure have. I'd like to actually admit to it right now on the air, and you can hold me to this all summer. I am done talking about Giannis. The Warriors are not in the running for Giannis Antetokounmpo in any way, shape, or form, nor should they be. The Warriors are not getting Giannis. They don't have the horses to get him. He doesn't want to come here. Every report I've seen suggests that he badly wants to stay in the East. There was a report a few weeks ago that said not keen on sort of being second fiddle to Steph. I don't even know what the hell it is that the Warriors would give up. I think we've made it clear, at least my stance on giving up 4 first-rounders when all your good players are over 35. The Giannis conversation's over. So just remove that.
I'd rather not. I mean, until something happens.
It's over.
It's never over.
It's going to happen this month.
Yeah, and when he goes somewhere else, then it'll be over. In the meantime, I agree with you as far as the likelihood, but Some people would rather do a lot to get Giannis than do a little and get LeBron. That's for sure.
I'm not even. That's fine. Some people would rather do that. Some people vote right wing, and some people vote left wing. It doesn't matter to me what out there some people want. To me, this is absolute and total reality. And if you read the tea leaves, you can see it. The Warriors are not involved in this anymore. And I'm willing to have a big old fried egg on my forehead if I'm wrong on this, but I do not see any way, shape, or form that is possible. The Kawhi thing, I don't like it. They're still trying to figure that contract thing out. I don't even know how that's going to go. I don't hear or see any buzz on that either. Could the Warriors be lying in the weeds on something completely different that we haven't thought of? Maybe. And that sounds potentially interesting to me. But beyond that, LeBron James, to me, if you're big game hunting.
Right. That's the biggest game. That's the GOAT, self-described GOAT.
I think that's it. And for those of you who don't like that idea, boy, I'm all ears. Because that's the one thing that I would love to see move forward in the LeBron conversation. Because a lot of you do sound like, and I know you deal with this all the time, you sound like the little kid at the dinner table when the dinner is, I don't like that idea. Well,
I don't like it.
Then what do you want?
You asked for ravioli. I gave you ravioli. Don't tell me you don't like it.
There you go.
You want a star and you want some sizzle? I'm giving you a star and some sizzle.
What do you want? If you don't want LeBron, and if you will join planet Earth that Giannis is not happening, then what's the next move? Because, boy, I'm just talking for me now. I hate the phrase run it back right now. Oh, visceral reaction. Run it back?
They won't.
Of course they can't.
I mean, they're allowed to.
They're allowed to, yes.
Right now, on Kalshi, the Warriors have a 2% chance of landing Giannis Antetokounmpo, 10th highest percentage. Miami, 54%.
Yeah, Miami, and then a bunch of other teams in the East.
Boston, New York, then Portland.
The 2% bet is a bad one. It's a bad one.